Hello, hello, old friends and new. This is Jen, and we're here for Body Aware. This class is very choice-based and anchored into curiosity, anchored into self-compassion. And so remembering that everything we're doing is based off of what's happening for you each moment that we're connecting into. And a sense of noticing, a sense of becoming more aware and what you want to do with it. So we've been working for the last few weeks in the series of working with opposites. Tonight's opposites, maybe they are, maybe they're not, maybe they're companions, I'm not sure. I think that's where opposites tend to lead us. So we're going to work with this idea of funk and flow. And so funk, we all get into it. Sometimes we want to move. Sometimes we want to move and we don't. Sometimes we don't want to move. And so we all have our ways of being and getting through our funk. So we'll see what this leads you to tonight. And we'll be in a very sweet, sweet yoga flow for about maybe 30 minutes or so. And then we'll leave some room for reflection after that. So join me now. We're going to start on our bellies. And if you're pregnant or you don't like being on your belly or it's hard for you on your belly, maybe something like a child pose could substitute for that right now. Okay, so we'll meet together down, laying on our bellies. And just give yourself some time to really settle in, noticing, feeling, finding that wonderful length of your body. And let yourself just even come down to one cheek. As you settle in here, allow yourself slow and easy breath. Knowing that however you arrive into this practice, that whether you're in flow or whether you're in funk, that there's no need for words here. The invitation is to settle and to find some gentle, gentle awareness. Yeah, settle here, finding more breath. Just even noticing how it wants to show up. And let your big toes touch, let your heels fall away. And we're gonna just let your hips do some shaking side to side. Shaking, rocking, however that translates for you. Noticing pace. Do you like it slower? Do you like it a little faster? But just bringing some attention towards the low back. And let this rocking back and forth start to become smaller so that eventually you're just finding center, finding some stillness in the low back and in the pelvis. Yeah, and then finding that breath as you start to slow and shrink that rock. Go ahead and bring your left arm down, slide it down towards your heart, towards your armpit. And we're going to take a roll over onto our right side. Just opening up, bringing your long side down and leaning over the long side. If your head lifted, go ahead, rest it back down. Staying here 3 breaths. Nice. Back all the way through center. Left goes long, right comes in, rolling over onto that long side. One more round of breath here, breathing in, letting it out. Rolling back onto your heart, back onto one cheek. Go ahead and tense your fingers up, bringing them just out to your sides. Cactus arms, tense your fingers, elbows up towards the sky. Push in tops of your feet and just start to bring your heart up off the ground. Good. Take a breath in. On your exhale, dip your right shoulder down. Inhale up. Dip your left shoulder. 2 more times each side. Meeting here, maybe you even want to hold or pause one more time here in the middle. And exhale all the way back down to the ground. Feeling that sweetness on your cheek, the support of the ground under you. When you're ready, slow and steady, push yourself back up into all fours, into table. Noticing, feeling that stability beneath you. And start just making movement, some type of cat-cow. Yeah, and maybe cat-cow turns into something really intuitive where it's just circling head, shoulders, hips, anything that sounds good and feels good to you. Yeah, and just take some movement here. And let this start to feel like flow. So often when we are in funk, it can be really hard just to find our breath. So just notice how it wants to show up here. Maybe your breath starts to feel continuous. Maybe it just starts to feel so natural that you lose the awareness, but you know that you're in it. And take one more breath. Come back just into stillness. Let that breath go. Softly put yourself into a child's pose. And if you have a child's pose variation that you really love, go there, but also maybe just check out a different variation. So knowing you can take up as much space and be as wide as you want, or you could even come in with your knees in very small, letting your arms go down by your legs. Again, giving yourself options and choice for what feels so good to me in this moment. start to draw yourself, just back up, bring your knees in if they're not. Push into the tops of your feet and just bring yourself up to a kneeling pose. And we're here in a different way, up off the ground now. So just take a moment to look around wherever you are, inside, outside, but find textures, find the colors, orient here to your space. Because here I am right now in this moment. Find that same pushing into the tops of your feet a bit and just let your bottom lift up off your heels. Yeah, and just play, noticing some strength there. At the same time, let's interlace our fingers, push them out and up as we lift. Inhale, coming up as much or as little as you want. Shifting from side to side, finding length, finding circles. Now listen, on our exhale, we're gonna come down to the left side. So we're gonna just sit a little off of our heels. Just a little off. Let your right hand come down towards the floor or towards the block, and then let this turn into a bit of a side bend. Hanging out here, 3 breaths. Yeah, and just even noticing how and where do I want my gaze to go? Take this left hand, go ahead and sit off to the side a bit. So dip that hip down, take your left arm, hook it onto the right knee, and then just pull back in space a bit. Use it for a little bit of leverage. Tuck your chin down towards your chest. Let's notice that opening of the side body. And just release. Come back just in the center. Oh, and just let yourself orient. Yeah, my body's still kind of finding space and time here. In that same sort of gesture of where we just were, so leaning off to the side a bit, we're going to just let this turn into a bit of like a funky pigeon. So left leg will come forward and right leg would go back. And then just start to walk yourself forward until you find where you want to land. This can be a bit gentler than a normal half pigeon. And just be with the level of sensation that you are at right now. Whatever you're noticing. I'm just hanging here a couple more breaths. And now listen, we're going to take that back leg and swing it just around in front and kind of just shift ourselves forward through a table into our first down dog. Take some time here. Let this be exactly what it is, that very first down dog. And pedal and notice. And down dog, especially that first one, can be great just to make some sound. So make I call it horse lips. Just blowing some bubbles with your lips. Beautiful. Shift yourself forward to a bit of a high plank. Come all the way down to your belly. Little baby cobra, breathe in. Exhale down. One more like that, little baby cobra. Exhale down. Come back, push yourself through into a child's pose. Land here for just 3 breaths. Draw your arms back, and we've got to do that other side still. So we're coming back into that seat. Interlace your fingers, push out. Reach above your head. Take any movements that you like, side to side. Drawing some circles with your palms. Pushing into the tops of your feet, lifting up off your heels a bit. Come on down. Push into your heels. And then this time, dropping over to the right. Beautiful. Left hand comes to the floor, right hand up and over, opening up the side body. Knowing this side's different. Again, noticing, where do I want my gaze to land? What feels like the best gift to my neck right now? Even softening through the jaw. Start to drop that hand to your opposite leg, right hand to left knee, hook on, pull back in space and time, chin to chest. 3 breaths here. Back in towards the center. Finding that funky pigeon again. So right leg forward, left leg back. Folding until you want to fold. Folding until you are comfortable with the amount of sensation that you're noticing. But there's no right or wrong way to do any of these shapes. Beautiful. Swing that front leg around. Hands land, push yourself back through table. Downward facing dog. Hold here, breathe, welcome in that sound again. Whether it's a noisy exhale, whether it's a bounce, or the blowing of the lips. Take that right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Drop your heel towards your bottom, peel your hips open towards the sky. Take a breath here and let it out. One more like that. Close the hips, step through towards your hands. Rotate that back leg down, or sorry, back heel down, and then turn this into a side angle. So you may want a block here on the outside or inside, or elbow down towards the knee. But go ahead and just start to feel some strength through your legs. Maybe a little solidness in the bottom, lightness in the top. You can extend that arm over, reaching over your head. You could come behind your back, opening through your heart. So many choices and options here. Beautiful. Plant that left hand down. Rotate right hand up to the sky for a twist. Good. One more breath here. Plant both hands, straighten your front leg, and just bowing over your front leg here a bit. If you need to bring that back leg in, you sure could. And planting both hands, step both feet back into that plank, down to your belly. Baby cobra or an up dog if that feels good to you at this point. Pushing back, downward facing dog. Ooh. Left leg floats to the sky. Heel drops towards your bottom. Stack your hips here. One more breath. Close and square the hips up. Step through to your hands. Swivel that back foot heel down. Turn this into your side angle. And even just noticing what is happening for me here at this point. How is my breath showing up? Is my heart rate a little faster? What's it like to feel a little challenge? Okay, bring both arms down. The right arm will land. Squaring your hips back up. Open that left arm to the sky for a twist. One more breath. Both hands land. Step back, high plank. Move through to your down dog for 3 breaths, how you want to get there. Choosing how do I want to move now. We'll meet together in that down dog. Here we go. Right leg floats to the sky. Draw your knee towards your nose, round your back. Send it back up. Now listen, figure 4 in your down dog. So right shin to your left knee. Come on down towards the ground, turn this into half pigeon. Now, if that funky version earlier felt a little sweeter, go back to that. But here, as we land, we can start to notice a different version. And you can stay tall, you can use your blocks, blankets, you can fold. Getting ready to move again. That long leg is going to rotate in front. Your right hip will land. Start into a seated tree, but then turn yourself long so that you've got some extra space. And then I'm going to use a block, but you don't have to have a block. Turning up that sweetness factor, letting that elbow land, supporting your head, softening, landing. Giving yourself space, giving yourself time. And let's go ahead and move this block. Walk your hands back towards the front, however you want to arrive there. Come back through a table, back to down dog. This is your last down dog, so compare it just for a moment. How is this one feeling compared to that first one? Is there any way that I want to observe it just a little differently? Bring that left foot up to the sky. Knee comes towards your nose, round your back. Inhale, bring it back up. Figure 4. Land that leg down into your pigeon. And resting here. Maybe you have a little more access to feeling. Maybe you have this desperate sensation to get out. This is where funk and flow collide a bit. Our breath is moving, our blood and lymph moving. Mind might be moving. But here we are, connected down. And I think this is where we can start to learn the lessons of things don't last forever. That we know somewhere deep down inside of us when we're in the funk, that it will shift, that it will change. And so even as we're just in this with our body, we can know this is only going to last 3 more breaths. It will shift. We're going to start to dip into that left hip, rolling into that sort of seated tree wide. So our right leg is long, left foot is in. Props and blocks can come back if we want them. I'm just resting here into this bit of an easy side stretch. I'm bringing attention to what is it like to support my head right now. Back up. Hands go back towards the front. Bring both legs long out in front of you. Just pausing, noticing, maybe rubbing the length, noticing the distance you have between hips and feet. There don't need to be any other judgments other than noticing a truth like my femur is long. My legs have a lot of stability. We're going to make our way down towards our back. So bringing blankets might be beautiful for you. Props, blocks, supports. Just drawing in, scooting forward, coming all the way down on your back. Yeah, then moving just in, down into something like a resting pose or a shavasana. Let your toes go wide and heels come in. Take up as much space as you want. Finding a full body breath here, like it's coming in through your toes, through your hands, up your arms, up your legs. And then on your exhale, land heavy. Do that one more time, whole body breath. Exhale down here, just observing about 1 minute of rest. Maybe you find heaviness, maybe you find softness. Maybe you find just a glimmer of flow. Choosing now how you want to spend your next 3 breaths. Waking up, wiggling through your toes and your feet. Maybe contracting and relaxing your legs a bit, squeezing through your bottom. Oh, softening through the belly and the heart. Really allowing yourself to receive on an inhale. Softening through the face, the jaw, and around the eyes, through the hair and through the temples, and down the back of the neck. Even imagining that there is a line being drawn through your eyes from in front, going all the way down through the back of your skull, infinitely. And just imagine this energy moving through or back. You're going just to do a short breath practice of a longer inhale and a shorter exhale. So we'll breathe into about 4 or 5 and breathe out on 3. So breathing in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out 3, 2, 1, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 1, 2, 3. Take just a couple more rounds of this on your own. Coming back. If you want to stay laying, please do. If you want to make your way slow to a seat, please do. Placing your hands somewhere on your body. Maybe it's one hand or two hands on your heart, hands on your heart, hand on your belly, hands connected, whatever feels most true to you to close this practice. Let your chin drop down like an act of bowing towards the body. And we just say, thank you, thank you, thank you, body, for bringing me through the funk into flow and letting them be such companions together, such supporters of each other. Knowing that I'm also always in flow, even when it feels sticky and tough. Take a breath together and let it out. One more just like that. Thanks for joining in this practice. We're going to continue to do this on Tuesdays. So I hope that I'll see you again very, very soon.